What is up, my little Danos? Vepsisi, your gods of the Helsinki Dragons, and we are here for my PPL Season 2 Week 8 battle, the final game in the regular season when I go up against the founder of the PPL from back in the day, and that him being TheDonphanatic, somebody I never got to play before, so it's exciting new experience, and he's been gone from Pokemon scene for a good while now, but he's been back. He has done well for himself to the point that he's a similar position than I am when it comes to playoff race. And the winner of today potentially gets a bye week from round 1 of playoffs, because 10 teams are going to be making playoffs. And the 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th seed have to play in round 1 each other and eliminate 2 teams out of there. And the top 6 seeds will be having quote-unquote bye week. So if I manage to win, for example, today, which I hope I do, next week will be my bye week, so there won't be upload for my behalf, but somebody else who are in a playoff mix might have to upload then for their game. So coming into this week, I'm gonna go very briefly in my team because I'm kind of like strict in time because I got just home on my off day and when we are playing. So we're gonna jump straight into this. The matchup should be showing to you right about now, so you get the idea that what are his Terra Pokemon, for example, and what kind of roster he has to otherwise to deal with. And I'll go very briefly in my teaming game, and then we just jump into the action. We start this with a Black Belt Haxorus, which is going to be Adamant Nature with a Close Combat, Earthquake, Trailblaze, and Sword Dance. This is here to break and eliminate the Corviknight that I fully expect to come. Whether it's going to be specially defensive or physically defensive or some sort of mixed defensive. I'm banking on the fact that it's gonna be fully physically defensive, as in the worst case scenario for me, for this set. But I have the Black Belt to boost up my close combat, essentially almost becoming like a stab for Haxorus, even though Haxorus is a pure dragon type. But we don't have a dragon stab here, because my close combat actually hits the dragon type super effectively, being the Kyurem. I have Earthquake to hit the Iron Mouth, I have Trailblaze to gain my speed and quite effective for the Gastrodon, and we have also Unnerve over Mold Breaker as the ability, because Gastrodon could easily be Rindo Berry versus me for something like Gengar's Crash moves that it can carry versus him, and Gengar on paper at first look actually pretty good versus him, but you're gonna notice that I don't even bring the Gengar for this game, so this is gonna be one of my main wall breakers to eliminate Corviknight, because it's gonna be huge for my other members of my team that need that thing to be gone. So the next member of our team is going to be Alola Mug, holding the weakness policy. Yeah, I've been cooking this week. So we are cooking up with a Alola Mug that could potentially win if the Corviknight is gone, and we are running Knockoff, Poison Jab, Drain Punch, and Stockpile. Stockpile is there just for me to up my defenses, and therefore whenever like a Gastrodon or a Shaman goes for an Earth Power, try to just wear me down and eliminate this annoying Pokemon for him, especially if the Corviknight is dead from his behalf, which he cannot really obviously any more swapping to deal me a lot easier. I can get my weakness policy procced, and especially something like a Gastrodon, I can potentially get 2 stockpiles up, and if I have weakness policy procced and +2 defenses through stockpile, it's gonna be a tough time for him to take me down, because then I have Drain Punch for recovery and a coverage to hit the Urshifu and the Kyurem, and I have Dual Stab with Knockoff and Poison Jab, and from there Muk can do quite a bit of work ideally. I've been daydreaming for this to work, and I really hope it's gonna work in this game. Then we have Choice Banded Iron Threads, another one that needs the Corviknight to be dead, so that's why we have Haxorus kind of dedicated to lure it out and eliminate it, so that the other guys can work more efficiently. And we have running a Earthquake, Heavy Slam, Iron Head, and Volt Switch. We have double steel stabs, because Iron Head does more than Heavy Slam to things like Kyurem, but Heavy Slam would do way more to Shaman over Iron Head, and it's also fully accurate move still compared to like running a Mega Horn in itself, which could have been a strong move, but it's a little inaccurate, so I wanted to have instead just an accurate move that does a lot to Shaman, depending on the set that he's running. And then we have a Booster Energy, Speed Boosting Iron Valiant with a Close Combat, Spirit Plague, Psycho Cut, and Destiny Bond. I could have had Poison Jab here, but there's a good chance something like Gardevoir will carry the Poison Reducing Berry or just be not all-caught by me. So in a way, Destiny Bond is gonna be more efficient way to kill that thing by him killing me on the same turn and me going for the Destiny Bond. And Destiny Bond can just in general be a nice failsafe if I see something I cannot really deal with too well and I can outpace it. So that's pretty much the Iron Valiant. Otherwise it's gonna be here for speed control, for when I send it out at the late game ideally, and other things have done the Wall Breaking work for me. And then we are gonna be bringing Colossal, which is gonna be yet again a dedicated lead, Terra typing itself to a Fairy Type with leftovers, and we have Body Press, Iron Defense, Rapid Spin, and Spikes. I wanna just lead with this thing and click Spikes like last week and just get my Terraform off, because then I can deal with the Urshifu single strike a lot better, and I'm still specially defensive, so I should be taking hits from Kyurem relatively well, depending on his set of course, and what move he's clicking. He could have Flash Cannon on it, but hopefully he won't be clicking it too often. And then we have a special defensive Gliscor, here to help dealing with the Iron Moth and giving me Stealth Rock support. We have Earthquake, U-Turn, Stealth Rocks, and Taunt. Taunt is there to prevent the Corviknight to remove hazards from his side, which I fully expect to be his remover this week, because Red Sea Lecky, which is his another remover, doesn't look great on me, especially with the team that I'm bringing, because I have dual Crown types as it is on my roster. So I fully expect the Corviknight to come for defog, and this is gonna be one of the things that definitely would lure it in. And that's why I need to pack Taunt to prevent it to do that, because while my hazards are up, and potentially I can eliminate the Corviknight out of the way, I can win the hazard to war game through there versus him, and that can be a big deal in order for me to wall break his fat, because he's been playing a balanced style, even though a lot of people, including myself, had kind of turned away from it a little bit as a playstyle, but he stayed true and tried to that playstyle, and credit to him, it's been working out for him. But I had to prep accordingly to try to eliminate the chances for him to play that playstyle effectively versus me. So that's gonna be the team, and now let's go and see how this battle turns out. Alright, here we are with the battle versus TheDonphanatic, founder of the PPL, and let's see what he decides to bring. I expect it to be a tough battle, cause he has quite a few offensive moves that I don't like to deal with right from the get-go, but I hope my offensive game plan will be working out in a favor that how I intended it to do, which is gonna be starting out with my... We're gonna be starting off without Colossal, even though I don't see actually Urshifu. That is kind of a big deal. Okay, we don't see Urshifu, which is kind of relieving, because it means that Colossal has less things to wall per se, because I really needed it for that first and foremost. And I think I still want to lead with it, because it gives me a very like a bulky answer to a Kyurem that is not quad weak to ground. Like, even though I would resist the ice of course, but like he could easily carry Earth Power for my Iron Threats and a Alola Muk. So I think I still want to Terralize it. Okay. Interesting. He could have then Scarf. The Scarfer, I would imagine, would be then somewhere between Gardevoir, Kyurem, or Iron Moth. Though he tends to like to run like a bulky Gardevoir more often than not. But we'll see. I'm gonna be leading with the Colossal regardless and try to Terralize it. The only thing that really prevents me to Terralize it right away would be Iron Moth, but it cannot touch me while I'm in my usual typing that well, but let's see what he leads up with. Interesting that he didn't bring Urshifu. I guess the Colossal was such an obvious potential answer to it that he didn't want to deal with it, plus potentially Gliscor. He leads with the Gardevoir. Okay. I think I'm fine with this to a degree, because I can Terralize. Yeah, he's gonna get that, which I don't wanna deal with my other moves too much, which is kinda annoying, looking at my own team. I think my Klitschko can eventually handle with this thing being a special defensive mon, and Earthquake will not be doing contact to it. But I'll go for Terrorization and I'll go for Spikes. And see what he clicks. He does stay in. So now I need to put my cogs open and see what this Gardevoir is doing and how much damage could it do to me. He does go for knockoff. And removes my leftover. So I'm glad on that turn I didn't swap to Gliscor. And I find it very unlikely he would go for knockoff now. So I can utilize the opportunity now going to my Gliscor here. Because then I can Earthquake, and if the Corviknight swaps in I can always taunt it. So I think I'll do that. We'll just withdraw here. I don't foresee him clicking knockoff back to back here. If he does, then a great prediction. Okay, there goes the Moonblast. Which does decent amount, but I should be able to heal that back up relatively healthy. So that did 130 damage to my Gliscor. So it probably has some investment, but not fully invested. Earthquake can 2-hit KO him here, so I think I'll go for the Earthquake, because I really want this thing gone. So I'll go for the Earthquake. It would be a shame that I lose my Iron Moth answer very quickly, but this Gardevoir will be a huge problem. Okay, he does withdraw into the Corviknight, I would assume. Oh, he goes to Gastrodon. Okay. That's fine by me. I should be able to do decent chip to this guy. And I gain some poison heal. Okay. And now I can just proceed to go for U-turn to provide even extra chip. I could go for aggressive taunt, knowing that he would either recover or spikes. But it's a pretty free get-go for me to go into, for example, to Haxorus here. So I think I'll U-turn. I think he would recover. Yeah, I think he would recover here. So I'll go to Haxorus and provide some pressure. He could click Ice Beam in front of this, but then he would leave himself very vulnerable with this Gastrodon, which I find unlikely for him to do. Chilling Water. Okay. He's running Chilling Water on this. Okay. But he is very low on his health, so I'm gonna go for a Sword Dance. Cause the sooner I can break that Corviknight, the better. So I'm gonna go for a Sword Dance, as he's gonna withdraw to the Corviknight. I should be at +1. And then I can proceed to go into +3. Because he's definitely going to take this opportunity to defog that Spike away. I will think. I'll go for another one right away. Because if he doesn't defog, then I'm keeping the hazards up versus him, which I definitely would prefer. And the hardest way he can start two-shotting me would be with Break Bird, which means that he's taking recall from it. So I go for +3. He does a U-turn. Okay. So he did not mind the spike just yet. And the Gastrodon is very low. Okay, the Kyurem comes out. Is it Scarf then? This has to be Scarf Kyurem, the way you bring this in. You don't bring this in otherwise. Or your Habanberry. I am not risking either way. I'll just go into my Colossal on this. It's annoying that I lost that amount of health on my Haxorus, so I really need to get the right turn to set up with it. He does go for the Ice Beam. And, yeah, that's Losing the leftovers is kinda annoying here. But now, who would you even go into on this? I could just hit body press on this. Hit what is in front of me. I could go for another spike. Because if this is Scarf, I can utilize that as opportunity to go into something else. I could Iron Defense here. I'll go for Body Press. I'll hit what is in front of me. Yeah, okay. He does go for another Ice Beam. And we get up a nice Body Press on it. That's good damage. Okay. It probably means that I will lose my Colossal here. Which is the case, but that's kinda okay for now because... we were dealing with a situation where the Urshifu didn't come. So I have the option to go into Iron Valiant. I can go into Iron Threats because I know I'll live any hit if it's Scarf. And I would force it out. With Iron Threats I find it a little annoying that I would probably have to click Sword Switch because I don't see the... Yeah, I'll go to Iron Threats because I think the Corviknight would swap in and I want to get a Volt Switch on that. And if this is Scarf, I would think you're gonna preserve this. I don't think you let this thing go here. I don't think you wanna go into Castrodon either. Because you don't know if I'm Choice Locked, then you would just die to an Earthquake. So you're going to Corviknight or Shaman. So I click Volt Switch here. Yeah, he does withdraw. Spiky, yep, it's the Corviknight, so I get up a nice momentum on this thing. It won't do a lot of damage. Okay. I can go into my Gliscor and get up my Stealth Rocks here. I can taunt it first, prevent it to defog. And then get up Stealth Rocks, because that's gonna keep the Kyurem away from the field, which I really need, because I don't have my Colossal alive. He is leftovers on it. So I will taunt first. Prevent defog. Hopefully he doesn't go for a U-turn here. Yeah, there we go. And now I can go for my Stealth Rocks. And I've been able to gain a little bit of health, which is important for potentially dealing with the Gardevoir or the Iron Moth. So now I get up my Stealth Rocks, and that's gonna keep the Kyurem in bay. That I really need to. As he's gonna probably click U-turn, yep. So we have seen defog and U-turn from Corviknight thus far. He would lose a lot of health on the Kyurem if he has to bring it here, because I have spikes up and I have Stealth Rock, so ideally I'm putting him in a situation that he cannot do that and probably goes into like Shaman or... Probably Shaman at that point. Like, it's not an ideal spot for him. He can still go technically to Kyurem because I think it lifts those two hazards, but if I ever get the Stealth Rocks back up again, then he cannot. Yeah, there comes the Shaman. As I kinda thought that would be the case. And here I'll just go for U-turn. The annoying part is that who do I go into per se? But for now I think I'll just U-turn. Based on the damage, I guess I could potentially go into Haxorus, because I should live the hit. I just need to force the situation getting rid of the Corviknight with the Haxorus. But I've been a little reckless with it in a way thus far, so there's only so much I can do with it. He does Terrorize, probably to Terra Crash. If I had to guess. Yeah, it is Terra Crash. And it's gonna be at 76%. He does go for the Seed Flare. He's probably gonna do a lot. He does half. He does get this Pedef drop, but it shouldn't matter because we're gonna U-turn out. And that did a decent chunk to it. That could be offensive Shaman then. Because it was at like 76% before. And you were Terra Crash with it. Well, if it was actually... Let me take that item away. Okay. So, my options are here to go into a Lola Mach. Quite frankly. And then I'm gonna force the situation that Corviknight has to try to defog, and then I close combat with Haxorus. Well, I'm gonna SD on his defog turn. Because he has to make that play. Because I need to force the situation with the Corviknight that it's so low that it cannot do anything else. And later on the game, I only will end up getting, hopefully, still Stealth Rocks up. He has to click defog here. He doesn't have a choice on the matter. So I'm gonna use that opportunity, go for a Sword Dance, and then I close combat this and do a lot of damage to it. And ideally leave it to the point that it's a sack. Or depending on his spread, he could also just die. Because I'm black belt on this. Yep, there comes the defog. Which is big for his Kyurem. But now I need to eliminate this Corviknight so my Alola Mox that can start doing the work. I don't think he wants anything else, take this potential hit. I think he wants a slow initiative. So we go for the close combat and do massive chunk to this. Come on, please do a lot. Oh my god, that's so close of killing. But now a lot of my other things can kill it potentially. Okay. That is fantastic. That Corviknight could be now a sack. That's really big. I just need that Corviknight to be dead. Hopefully my Alola Mach can actually kill it with a knockoff later on. Just a neutral knockoff. Corviknight. I do 19% with a knockoff, so if I get the Alola Mach in a right turn, I can still utilize that to go for that. I think for now Haxorus kinda has done its job. It didn't kill the Corviknight, but it did its job to the point that now yeah, I think here I would let this thing go down and then I go into my Iron Threads to press a Steel move. I'm pretty sure that's how we get to 2-hit KO either Gastrodon. We should be 2-hit KOing or Okoing the Corviknight here. And Shaman should be taking a lot from each of these attacks, and it's also pretty low. I think Heavy Slam is my strongest move versus everything else, and this Kyurem should already die to this. Heavy Slam and Iron Head are same base power versus Corviknight. And versus Shaman and Gastrodon, I wanna say versus Gastrodon I also do more with this. Yeah, Heavy Slam does way more, so I click Heavy Slam. He does withdraw. He probably has to sack at this point. That's the Gastrodon. I go for the Heavy Slam and I do kill it. Cool. So Gastrodon is gone. It's unfortunate in a way, because that was one of the potential things to proc my weakness policy. But depending if he has to go into Scarf Kyurem and click Earth Power, that could be the one thing that procs it for me, actually. Shaman. Do you live this hit? If you're fully physically defensive? You don't live this hit. The only thing that could go wrong here if you're somehow Scarf. But like, if you Scarf Earth Power, then I get my Mock in, so I click Heavy Slam. I don't think he knows I'm banded. Yeah, that Shaman is dead. Goodbye, Shaman. Okay. So, Kyurem has to click probably Earth Power to kill me. Which probably means that I'll let him do that and get my Mock in. And he's probably gonna stay in and just sack it. And that enables me to get a 1 stockpile and then I go crazy. Okay, he goes into Iron Moth here. He's booster. Oh. Which booster are you? Speed. Okay. Okay. You are booster speed with it. How do I want to play this endgame? Does my Iron Valiant live a hit from this? Like, fire move, I should say. Because then I can go for a Destiny Bond. He could have... Well, he's booster speed. I don't think he agilities here. Booster speed, I live a fire move. So, we're gonna make aggressive play into our Iron Valiant and Destiny Bond this. Because he should click fire move here. He's not clicking a poison move here. And I should be now faster than it. Yeah, he does go Fiery Dance. We should live this. Fantastic. And now I Destiny Bond. I just Destiny Bond this. Because the sooner the Iron Moth is gone, the better for me. Yeah, if he has to withdraw, then he loses his speed. He's probably calking like if I get a Crown move or Psychic move, but I think with his speed boosting variant, he lives a Psychic type move. There we go for Destiny Bond. Please attack. Just attack me. Yes, okay, you're gone. Iron Moth is gone. So is my Iron Valiant, but that's really probably the best value deck I could have gotten out of it. Good. Huge threat gone. Huge threat gone. Now the big threat that is left is the Kyurem. And if the Kyurem comes in and locks itself into Earth Power, I can go into Alola after. And then I go crazy. And Corviknight and Gardevoir loses to my Iron threats. So we do that play. I force the situation with Kyurem having to click Earth Power. Because I feel like that's what he has to go into. Spiky, they got... Okay. I would love to kill this. So I just click Heavy Slam here or Iron Head. Iron Head is strong enough versus everything else. We click Iron Head. Cool, you're dead. Corviknight is gone. I shouldn't have to click the... Well, there is a benefit, I guess, for stockpile still, technically, but... We'll see. I don't have to force the situation either, per se, with Mach. When it comes to this. I don't know if this... Are you Scarf? No, you're surely not Scarf, right? Is the current just specs and I'm sweeping with iron threads? Is that what's happening? I've been kind of like thinking that that curve is being Scarf, but maybe I just didn't pay attention to its damage and maybe it's not Scarf. It could be XP belt too. Or boots. Who really knows? Man, I didn't expect Iron Threads to sweep me. We are gonna end the regular season just like it started. Iron Threads pulling a random ass sweep that I didn't even plan it to do. Okay, he is scuffed at least. Goes for the Ice Beam. And doesn't take me out. And there we go. Your Helsinki Hydreigons will end the regular season just like we started it with a 3-0 win over TheDonphanatic. Make sure to check him out. He is the founder of the league. Very nice guy, and he had something coming up on a later note when we organized Get to the game, but thankfully because he's from UK and I'm from Finland, he was very flexible finding a time during his lunch break from work to get this battle done, so we can see how the playoff bracket is gonna unveil. So for us, because I won, I don't need to necessarily spoil any results here, and that's not my intention, but I can say for that much to the ending that next week should be a bye week for me, so my channel will not have an upload next Saturday for you when it comes to playoffs, but the week after will be our round 1, or technically I guess round 2 for playoffs, but round 1 for me. It's confusing, I'm really sorry, but 2 weeks from now will be my first playoff game, and I will have to wait and see who that's gonna be that I have to face. Make sure to check all the coaches, and especially if you have a Discord yourself and you use it, please go to the Discord server for the PPL, because there should be updating regards to like who is gonna be playing in playoffs versus who, what time those should be going up. You see the player bracket by then, hopefully. So the information that you definitely will need to follow these playoffs more closely will be in the public server, so please go and get yourself in there if you haven't joined the server yet, so you can follow it through it. But for my behalf, to follow my journey, how long we can go into playoffs, hopefully it's gonna be a long, successful journey for my behalf that is coming ahead. You can obviously follow it too by subscribing here, and thank you for watching, and we delivered the promise. I cannot forget to mention this. I delivered the promise to Red Sea Ice from all the way to week 4, baby. Even though I had to drop you, my guy, I promised you back then I would make the playoffs, and then just drag this team, this average team that I have been able to cook with relatively well this season. We made it, and I'm really happy about that. Thank you for watching. I'm gonna end it here. Sorry for rambling, and I'm gonna see you later.